This telecast is copyrighted by Hometown 24 for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or retransmission of this game without the express written consent of Hometown 24 is prohibited.
Welcome to Hometown 24's presentation of 14th Region Girls Softball. Hazard Lady Bulldogs come up 15 to Letcher County Central. Hazard coming in at 16-9, 6-2 in the region. RPI number 3 against the home-standing Letcher County Central, 15-6 on the season, 8-0 in the region. RPI number 1. Big time affair here tonight as those teams are trying to get close to, and Hazard is one of those. We had Hazard earlier, me and Brian Johnson down at Hazard, and we've found out that Hazard will not have Peyton Fields tonight, and that's a big loss. Manus Blair here with Mark Young, and right off the bat, Hazard, one of their prime players, is not going to be playing in this game.
Yeah, you always hate to see that, but it's kind of smart to let her sit out and rest up and heal up and get ready for later on.
Oh, yeah. And, when you're looking at Letcher Central, of course, we had their senior night here of the night and a big 8-3 win over Perry County Central. And even though the seniors have made away, but Addison Collier was our Alice Lloyd College player of the game, and she hit the ball really, really well. And that is a good with the Bentley girls. And with Scarlett Stamper, Addison Collier, Katie Combs, and the rest.
Yeah, right now,
they're rolling.
Right now, the Lady Cougars are got their bats alive, man. They're hitting the ball really well, and that's what Coach Perkins says that he's wanting them to do, come up there and be ready to hit.
And when we come back after the national anthem, we'll talk about the Hazard Lady Bulldogs.
This is News 12.
Since 1985, Hometown 24 has been serving this community with local programming produced by local people.
Hornet's going to air it out. He's got a man out here. Linden caught it to 45.
Using the latest video technology to bring you the news, sports, and local events that matter to you.
First on your Hometown News tonight.
I'm Harold Mullins, and thanks for joining us.
40 years is a long time in Eastern Kentucky. Here's to 40 more.
Great communities attract talented people to live, work, and raise their families. We're committed to delivering future-proof broadband so our friends, families, and neighbors can live rich lives in smart rural communities across America. Your community is our community. We're your rural broadband partners. You do great things. We make great things possible.
And welcome back to Hometown 24 as we'll talk about the Hazard Lady Bulldogs. And, of course, we've already mentioned that Peyton Fields will be inactive tonight. Of course, that's going to put a little bit more pressure on their batting lineup. And, Mark, when you start looking down their lineup and you've got Riley Griffin batting .352, Zoe Gabbard, who is going to lead off. Normally that was Peyton Fields' spot. And then you have Heidi Jones, Brea Eddington, and Cadence Stallings. They've got to hit the ball better than what they did at Perry Central, and I expect them to do that.
Yeah, you always got to have your top of the lineup making contact and getting on base and giving you that opportunity to score early.
And that's one thing that Heidi Jones, she bats .328, but she leads the team in walks, leads the team in hit batters. And, you don't see a whole lot of that as in baseball with softball players, but she's in double figures with being hit by a pitch. So that would lead me to believe, and what I watched her earlier is she gets right up on the home plate and puts her hands basically in the strike zone.
Yeah, when you have a batter crowding a plate like that, you have to make one or two decisions. Throw outside and try to get away from them, or bring it inside.
Bring it inside. Now, it's old Kentucky baseball. You don't move. But Hazard's lineup will be, of course, number 20, Zoe Gabbard. She'll be shortstop. Riley Griffin will be the junior at second. Heidi Jones will bat third. Playing first, batting fourth, Bray Eddington catching. Cadence Stallings Jr. will be in right field. Sammy Noble will be the designated player, batting 262. Reagan Elkins third base. Maggie Combs in center. Haley Jones will be in left, and the pitcher will be Bailyn Rowe in the flex position. And we saw her down there, me and Brian did down there, and she did an outstanding job of throwing strikes. So Letcher Central will have to be ready for that. And then defensive-wise, Letcher County Central, Scarlett Stamper will start out pitching 13-2 with a 0.8. Playing third will be Addison Collier, Sarah Richardson at short. Fourth, second base will be Anna Hatton. First base will be Hilla Ambergy. Kaylee Bentley. I can't read my handwriting and my handprinting. It will be in left. Thank you. Mara Cook will be in center. Leah Nicely will be in right. So I'm getting a little bit better at this, getting the lineups in right before the first batter comes up, Mark. I haven't done really that many softball games this year.
And, it's going to be interesting because the Cougars are playing them straight up just like they did last game, and Stamper steps to the plate and gets ready.
And we have a gorgeous night. A little bit chilly, they said, down in the bleachers, but and that's going to be a little bit cooler if that sun goes down. But that was outside, ball one on Gabbard.
Stamper seems to be working the outside of that plate just like she did up here the other night.
And that's going to be ball two. A little bit down as I've already broken a pencil. It's a good thing I bring plenty of pencils.
The Cougars are playing straight up. Nobody's moving in. The corners are even with the bags.
And that's going to be strike one on the outside corner. And like you said, Mark, she's working that outside corner, getting you to lean out there. And the next thing you know, she throws something different. Hazard's got to be ready for that. That sun's tough in the right field, and that ball is down, and that'll be 3-1.
Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. We was talking about that with the cameras and stuff, how it messes with the cameras out there as well.
It kind of bounces them a little bit, too. And
the wind's blowing hard right now.
Whipping, and that's powered straight back, and it will run the count full. Thank you for joining us here on Hometown 24.
I was afraid to say anything about the wind blowing because I said that the last game, and it flag just hung there forever.
I'm sure that all the fans would like to see it just become calm here. Full count, and that's going to be fouled straight back. Gabbard fighting off those pitches, trying to look for one of those pitches that she can drive somewhere. Like you're saying, they're even on the corners and playing a little bit deeper now with two strikes for some reason, playing deeper in left. And that's going to be right down Main Street, and that's going to be strikeout number one, and that will bring Riley Griffin up. The junior batting 352.
That's probably the best pitch that Stamper had thrown so
far. And, you start thinking maybe I was looking for something else, but it was right down Peachtree. So, first pitch, and I was going to swing through it and miss, and that's going to be strike number one. For all you Reds fans out there, Reds won again today.
Yay.
And, of course, Jim Bob McCauley is going to say not yay. That's going to be outside. Good eye by Griffin, and that's going to run the count 1-1.
Griffin's first cut at the ball, she was actually out in front, and you don't see that very often against Stamper.
She usually makes really good contact the games I've watched, and now she swung and missed on that one, and that's going to be 1-2. Bentley out in left, kind of moving back and then moving forth. But as the pitch comes, she moves forward. And that's going to be a rise ball, and that's going to be a swing and miss, and that's going to be two strikeouts on the first two batters. And that will bring up Heidi Jones, the junior, batting 328.
So the Lady Bulldogs are going to take a look at it from the other side of the plate and see how that works.
And you can see right away what we were talking about pregame as Jones is getting right up on that plate. Lefty against lefty, and that's outside.
And Stamper went to the outside of the batter this time, which is the opposite side of the plate.
And that's really hard to do sometimes. Second pitch, and that's a rocket shot down the right field line. Nicely's got in front of it and will get it in, and that's a base hit for Heidi Jones as she put the metal to the ball on that one.
Yeah, she absolutely hit it hard, and Nicely did a good job keeping it in front of her, kept her from advancing on to second.
Had to have a little drink of water. Not only is the wind blowing, but it's blowing that stuff off the trees right into my lungs, seems like.
Yeah, there's a lot of sycamore trees around this park, and that makes it rough.
And it's Bray Addington up, the junior, 288, catcher. Swung through the first pitch. Can't get rid of it. Jones at first.
The runner at first got a big lead that time, so...
And that's going to be outside, and that'll be ball 1-1, 2 down. Jones on first, trying to get something going for Coach Combs.
You know, they're showing a lot of respect to Katie Combs back there behind the plate by not going with that jump.
Yep. And that's going to be swung through as well, and that'll be 1-2. I'm sorry. I started to say 0-2. Eddington trying to put the ball into play here. And there she went for that rise ball, and it's going to be 2-2. Eddington electing not to go in above her hands, and she let it go.
Yeah, you know, that was good patience with the count that she had. I'm really impressed.
Right straight back. She was right on that one. 2-2. Still yet. It's trying to fight it off. And just like in any baseball, softball, the more pitches you see from the pitcher, you get a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, Stamper's been able to get 2 Ks in a row, but now they've had a battle.
Here it goes, and there's the changeup, and it's going to be a called strike 3, and that's 3 outs in the top of the first. When we come back, Letcher County Central will come to bat.
Spring has sprung in the mountains, and that means it's the perfect time to upgrade your device and your savings with Appalachian Wireless. Right now, you can get the new iPhone 17e, the iPhone 17, or the Samsung A17 on us when you choose a qualifying plan, or take advantage of up to $800 in device savings on select devices. And here's the best part for our new customers. Port your numbers to Appalachian Wireless and get up to 6 months of free service. So don't wait. Spring into savings today, or visit us online at AppalachianWireless.com, because we are your neighbors, and this is your network. We are Appalachian Wireless.
What keeps you going? Your love for the game? Your teammates? A victory? At ARH Orthopedics, our goal is to keep you pain-free so your body can keep going. There's no time for discomfort in your joints or ligaments caused by an injury. ARH Orthopedic providers specialize in treatment plans, from non-surgical and surgical options, so your care is entirely centered around you. Visit arh.org/ortho to find an orthopedic provider near you. ARH, more for Appalachia.
Welcome back to Hometown 24. Hazard unable to come up with anything after the hit by Jones. One left on base, and Hazard out in the field. Gabbard will be at short. Griffin at second. Jones at first. Eddington will be the catcher. Stallings in right. Elkins playing third. Maggie Combs in center. Haley Jones in left.
I'm kind of curious to see how Rowe does here. You know, she's only got 24 innings pitched.
Yep.
But sometimes, if a younger pitcher's in there, especially if they can throw strikes and not worry about trying to overpower a team, can cause the team fits.
And the last time, like I said, she did throw strikes. And, you know, you already mentioned she's 2-1 with 2 saves, 3.74 ERA. And, yes, she has pitched 24 innings. But those innings have been, and I've looked back at it, has been against some of the top teams in the 14th region and the 15th region. Of course, they picked up a big win against Johnson Central and Breathitt County coming in. So they come in with momentum. They beat Breathitt County 17-4, beat Johnson Central 7-1, and when you talk about momentum, Letcher Central 10 wins in a row. Stamper steps in, and that's going to be a strike one. Stamper batting .379 does the senior.
Rowe wastes no time. When she gets up there, she fires that thing. No wasted motion.
And that's going to be to Gabbard. Gabbard got her glove on it, but is unable to come up with it, and that's going to be a base hit for Scarlett Stamper. And that will bring up Addison Collier, the junior, batting .400 for Letcher County Central.
Yeah, Gabbard made a great play there to get her glove on the ball. I mean, she lunged out there. I thought she was going to make a super play, but she just couldn't reel it in.
I think it was a little bit hard. It was hit harder than what I thought it was initially, and there we're going to have time. We had a little bit of, I think we had a little bit. It's all in good fun.
This is the time of year that I enjoy getting out and watching these kids play.
Kind of looked up to me, and I didn't have nothing to do with it. That's going to be, it's going to be a strike, and that's going to be 1-1. 1-1, nobody down. Stamper on first.
You know, Collier had the big stick there the last game we watched.
I wonder if she's going to have keep that heat streak going, and that's going to be ball 2. Letcher Central with wins over Prairie Central, Jenkins, Belfry, and Shelby Valley recently. And that's going to be hit down the line. Does it have a chance? It's going to hit the base of the fence, and Stamper's going to get to third as the long throw comes in. And I thought for a second, Mark, that was out of here.
Yeah, it just kind of died out there. The wind is blowing to the right field side of the.
It's kind of been probably knocked it down just a little bit.
Yeah, I think it held it up a little bit. That was a shot.
So Addison Collier continues her hot streak at the bat, and up will come Kaylee Bentley, the junior, batting .413. 2 runs here trying to plate them, and that's going to be in the dirt. Gets a wave, and it's going to be advancement. Each runner will advance on the wild pitch, and Stamper will come in to score. Collier will advance to third for Bentley.
You know, that's good base running anytime you have a pass ball and all your runners advance.
Bentley leads the team in doubles with 12. And it's going to be hitting that 5-6 gap, and it's going to be a base hit, and then Collier will score. Bentley with an RBI, and it's 2-0 Letcher County Central.
It seems as though their momentum behind batting from the is still true.
I mean, in the confidence sometimes that you have, and if you win, a 10-win streak.
Yeah.
And if you're scoring runs, and the last few games have had 8, 10, 12, and 10 runs, so it's at a height right now, and that's a change up, and it's going to be down, and Bentley is going to advance to second.
Yeah, it's a good heads-up play there. She checked to make sure that the catcher didn't have the ball. She kept it in front of her, but it went over to the side.
Beautiful evening here at Letcher County Central to watch softball. And that's going to be on the corner, and that's going to be a strike. 1-1.
I think Bentley's a little mad at herself. I think she wanted that one.
Roll putting a little bit more on that. Here comes the pitch, and it's a changeup, and it's an excellent pitch, and it's going to be 1-2. Now, Bentley's looked at 2 different kind of pitches, and now you've got to protect the plate.
Right. Anything that's close that might be called a strike, you got to put a bat on it.
Hazard trying to get some outs right here in this bottom of the first. And that's going to be on the outer half, and it's going to be a little bit outside, and that'll be 2-2.
That was too close for me to take, as she had great patience.
2-2, nobody down, runner at second, and that's that changeup, and she just barely got a hold of it.
Swung out of her shoes, but
she
man,
was way on that front foot, and her hand stayed back enough to get to foul it off. And nice pitch by Rowe. Let's see what she goes to right here.
Yeah, that was a wicked changeup because her motion was the same.
Here we go, 2-2. There's that changeup, and it didn't catch that outside corner, and that's going to run it full at 3-2. And once again, I think it's that changeup. Bentley's having a little bit of trouble with it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you have pitchers that's up there trying to blow it by you, and you get those lollipops.
Here comes the payoff pitch, fouled straight back down on the handle.
Nice at bat for Bentley, though. She's hanging around there.
Yeah, now once again, she keeps seeing that changeup. How many more times will Rowe go to that changeup? We'll see right here.
The Bulldogs are playing straight away. Nobody's shaded in any direction.
And there it is, and it's going to go foul. So down on the handle, out in front of that still yet, and come back and try it again.
The breeze is blowing straight out now instead of being to the right, so this was a good opportunity if she can get a hold of one and get it up a little bit that it would go.
Here comes the payoff once again, and it's going to be down on the handle, and it's going to be foul.
And, you got to give it to Rowe. Rowe's done a great job here, not giving her anything good to hit out.
Well, and it's hitting down on her handle each time. She's not got barreled it up yet.
Yeah, she's trying to keep her away from the power.
And here, once again, here we go, and there it is, and boy,
I thought I was safe, but
I parked over at the vocational school, but you never know with these girls when they bat.
And this is, 10 or 12 pitches into this at-bat.
I quit writing them down. I probably should. Usually I keep writing them down, and that's changeup. And, it's over top of Gabbard. Bentley, let's see if she's going to score. She's going to try. No. Coach Perkins holds her up, and that's a base hit by Kelsey Bentley, and that'll make runners at third and first with nobody down. And Katie Combs, the senior, will come up batting .348 for Coach Perkins.
I'll be kind of curious to see if Hazard pulls in the corners or if they keep them back. With the speed that Combs has, they almost have to cheat in some.
Yeah, and they're looking in the dugout, and they've elected, I think, to kind of stay the same. No movement, and Combs will step in. And she'll swing and miss. Once again, Roll is around the plate with every single pitch she throws.
Yeah, she doesn't waste many pitches. She really doesn't.
And the sophomore does an outstanding job with that changeup, as we've mentioned several times already. Outside, and that's going to be ball 1. 1-1. Thank you for joining us here. Hometown 24, 40 years of your local coverage area of local schools in our area. Comes the 1-1. And it's fouled. Got to be careful there. Bentley was in fire territory.
Yeah.
And the old saying is, you better not be there because if you get hit with a ball, you are out.
Absolutely. Which that one was slow enough, I think she was able to dodge.
All righty here, 1-2. Let's see if Rowe can clamp it down here, and that's going to be hit long to left field out toward my car, and it's going to be foul. 1-2.
To be small, she's got a good bat on her. I mean, she's got a lot of power.
I want to wish goodwill wishes to my buddy David Adams, who had a little bit of oral surgery yesterday and taking the night off, and that's going to be ball. And Bentley is going to advance in, and she's going to score the third run of the first. And Kelsey Bentley will advance to second on the wild pitch. So
And
that'll be 2-2.
yeah, and that's something that comes with experience. They advance every time there's a pass ball or a bobble they're running.
Here comes the 2-2, and that's going to be up, and that's going to run it full. Hazard trying to get some outs here.
And I want to give a shout out to Bumper Adams is watching, and he says change-ups in softball should be illegal, and he's right. She's got a great change-up.
It's kind of like him throwing knuckleballs to me. And there's another change-up, and it's going to be fouled.
When I was coaching up here with Coach Adams, we had Ramey Hensley, and she had a wicked changeup.
So it's still full, and Katie Combs trying to fight off pitches in or near that strike zone roll, trying to get an out here. And it's up and out, and that will advance her down to first with the bases on ball. And Leah Nicely will come up, the junior, batting 300.
And the Cougars still on a roll without any outs, man.
Yep, and all you're trying to do when you're Hazard, you're trying to get a force out here. You're trying to get something going on the defensive side. And that's going to be strike number 1 to Nicely.
One of the things I've noticed, like you said, with that confidence, that all these girls are coming up there and taking until they get that first strike.
Yeah. There's the changeup, and it's down. That'll be 1-1. Three runs in for Letcher Central on 4 hits. And it's going to be popped up and out of play, and that will be 1-2.
I think Nicely wish she would have that one back because she was all over it. She just undercut it a hair.
And if you've never played softball, when you've had a changeup thrown to you, it can make you look pretty foolish sometimes. And that's off the handle, and Gabbard's going to make the call, and that's going to be the first out of the inning.
And that's exactly what the Lady Bulldogs was looking for. There, you got to get that first out before you can get out of the inning.
And Sarah Richardson will come up. 254 for the junior. Hazard looking to turn it over and try to get out of this inning. And it's popped straight back.
Yeah, she just automatically went straight after it. She didn't take any pitches or anything. That was the one she wanted right down the middle. She just popped it back behind.
And at what time does Rose start? Everyone starts looking for that changeup, and she starts moving it up. And Richardson's going to foul it off, making it 0-2.
It's kind of interesting. They're still playing straight away. Both teams haven't really done any kind of shifting at all.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch, and trying to get her to go out. That outside pitch, 1-2.
To be a sophomore, she's got a lot of poise out there on that mound.
Oh, yeah. 1-2, one down, and that's going to be hit down the left field line, pulled out there, and it's
hung up on top of the batting cage.
Yeah. Maybe I need to, in between innings, to go out there and move my car.
They're aiming
They're getting
for
closer and closer out there. 1-2, one down. Here comes the pitch, change up, but it stays up. 2-2.
Casey Breeden may have drew a bullseye on your car out there before he left.
He may have, but he's moved that building out there to protect me, though. Our little tiny building out there. Here comes the pitch, and it's straight back this time.
right above the windows here.
Yeah, Mark ducked on that one. Thanks, everybody, for joining in. James Sandlin, Bumper Adams, Kayla Helton, Lisa Sexton.
Josh and Martina Yance is watching as well.
Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for Brian Farmer. He's always tuning in down at Hyden, Kentucky. There's the pitch, and it's going to be a swing and miss, and that will be the second out of the inning. And
that's Rowe's first K, but, man, that's a big one.
Yep. Tamara Cook comes up. She's batting .233. I missed on her. She's an 8th grader. And that changeup was wicked that time.
Yeah, she was way out in front of it because of the change. She pulled the string on that one.
You got that right. That's happened to me a few times in baseball when I was playing. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be out 1-1.
So with 2 outs, your runners are going to be going on contact. And all she's got to do is put it in play and hope something happens.
1-1, 2 down. And that once again swings through that changeup, and it's going to be 1-2. And I was talking to her granny out there. That's why I didn't get back up here and realized I had to get on the air here. She loves softball. Her granny was a heck of a softball player. And that's right back up the middle. Nice grab, and that's going to be a force out, and that will end the inning after Letcher Central scores 3, and we'll be back with the top of the second and see if Hazard can put some on the board.
For over a century, Bank of Heinemann has proudly served Knott County and the surrounding communities. They're your hometown bank, built on trust, service, and a commitment to their neighbors. With online banking, bill pay, and mobile deposit, they blend today's convenience with the personal service you've always known. Visit them on the Hyman Bypass or at the Holly Hills Shopping Center. Bank of Hyman, where tradition and trust still matter.
My name is Emily, and I'm from Laurel County. When I was searching for a college, I wanted to find a place that felt like home and where I could make a difference. The moment I stepped on Alice Lloyd's campus, I knew this was where I belonged. There's a sense of community here and a focus on serving others that you can't find at other colleges. For me, it wasn't just about continuing education. It was about being a part of something bigger. Apply now to find your home at alc.edu.
Welcome back to the campus of Letcher County Central. Letcher Central put 3 on the board in the bottom of the first. Up for Hazard will be the 5, 6, and 7. When that'll be Cadence Stallings, the junior, batting .329, will lead off. Our next telecast will be on 24 and 25 on Monday. David and Jim will be at Prairie Central for the Paintsville Prairie Central baseball game. Brian Johnson and I will be at Prairie Central as well, doing the Estill County at Prairie Central softball game.
That should be a whale of a ball game.
Yep, and interesting to see where Estill County fits in with Hazard, Letcher Central, Prairie Central, Jenkins, Leslie County. And it's hit down on the line, and it's going to be a foul ball.
You know, Estill County's RPI is down low, but if you look at their schedule and stuff, they play a lot of powerhouse teams. And
well, their proximity lends itself to that, and they take advantage of it.
Oh, absolutely.
And the changeup and Stallings swings through it.
And they're undefeated in region play as well.
Yes, yeah. Most of the teams I think they've played is in the 56. I was kind of looking at their schedule today. Stamper with 0-2 count, 1-2. Josh Bailey tuning in. Josh doing well in the Knott County middle school track. Congratulations to him on, I forgot all what he did win. And that's going to be a swing in strike 3, and that's going to be the 4th strikeout for Scarlett Stamper. and that will bring up Miss Sammy Noble, the senior, batting 262 for Coach Combs. Got to find some people to get on base to put a little pressure on the defense of Letcher Central.
Yeah, and if Noble can get on base, she can be a threat.
1-0, one down. And that's going to be hit up, but it got under it a little bit, and that's going to be a fly ball out to Bentley, and that's going to be the second out of the inning.
The Cougars had that played well. I don't think she even took a step.
She didn't take much of a step, did she?
So that's one of the things that I always watch for is see where the outfielders play these batters. You know they do a lot of studying.
Well, and you know the thing about it is, and like we've said already numerous times here, is that right field is so tough. And Elkins up. Reagan Elkins, the batting 297, the junior, swings through the first pitch. But, you know, you got to keep making sure if you don't have sunglasses, you got to turn sideways a little bit to try to get a read on the fly ball. 1-1, the pitch outside.
Yeah, one of the things that I know that the Cougars do, Skip Nance is actually the pitching coach, and based on his pitches, they actually move their outfield around.
And let's see if that's going to go out of play, and it does. I'm glad that we do have a roof, and that's 1-2. Josh Bailey says that he won the high jump, long jump, 100 hurdles, 200 meters. And I broke all the records for the long jump and the 200 meters. Well, good job, son.
We also have Jeff Potter and Lisa Sexton watching as well.
We want to thank everybody. That's one of my former student teams. Car Creek. Miss Lacey Collier-Ison is tuning in. Foul back, and it's going to be still 2-2. We love for kids to play all different sports. And we've got several here on both of these teams. And that's going to be a changeup, and it's a called strike. And that will be 3 down, and we'll move on to the bottom of the second. Stay with us on Hometown 24.
Come right to the source and get the region's best basketball coverage. HT24 puts you right in the middle of the action, and it's free to watch on Facebook. Watch the state's most exciting basketball right here with HT24.
No one likes an uninvited guest, especially when that guest is a potentially dangerous pest. So call Bluegrass Pest Management and let the pros take care of your problem. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, providing much-needed jobs to local people. With 3 locations in Hazard, London, and Hindman, they treat rats, mice, roaches, bed bugs, termites, and many more. Open Monday through Friday and now servicing all of Kentucky. Say goodbye to your uninvited guests today. Call Bluegrass Pest Management.
Welcome back to Letcher Central. 3 and out for Hazard as we move to the bottom of the second. And up for Letcher Central will be Miss Anna Hatton, the senior, batting 232 on the season.
I want to give a shout out to James McCauley watching from Kona there. That's Bob's father.
He's all time trying to keep Jim Bob in control. I talked to his father-in-law Billy the other night. And I said, I can't do anything with Jim Bob. I love Jim Bob McCauley. And here we go. Love all the guys that helps us here at Hometown 24, including their crew, including Bryson out there looking back into the sun. Tough being a cameraman in this. And Hatton will put down the bunt. Roll will hand it, and she's going to be safe. So base hit by Hatton. And she must have heard what we were talking about off there.
Right. That's what I was expecting Combs to do with her wheels as well. But when they stayed back even with the bag, I'm surprised that you don't see more of them doing that because we got some girls that can scoot down that line.
Yeah, and athletes, and you got to utilize every single aspect of your game, and that's one of the things that in baseball and softball you got to have. Stamper out in front, Eddington with a play,
nice.
Hatton with a tag, and she will advance to second, and she's going to try third. Combs will throw it home. So nice work, and you were talking about using your feet, and Hatton did there. I thought going on Addington might have been a bad choice, but she came out of there, did a break, and she made that catch.
Yeah, that was a nice move to make the catch. Momentum was carrying her away from the throw, so that made it a little tough.
Collier will step in, had the double into left center the last time, one down, trying to plate that runner at third and Hatton, and that's going to be strike number one. Collier with look back, this would be she's had 5 straight hits on the season.
Yeah, she manages to find the gaps.
Change up, and that's going to be up, and that's going to be 1-1.
Center field is shaded just a little bit towards the left, but other than that, there's no shift out there at all.
Here comes the pitch, and that's a liner, and that's going to be another base hit for Collier, and that's going to play Hatton, making it 4-0 RBI for Addison Collier, and she's just in a good place, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what she's doing before the ball game, but if I was her coach, I'd tell her to keep doing it.
Keep doing it. So and we'll step Kaylee Bentley, who had that liner into left center, also with an RBI.
The outfield for the Bulldogs got the ball in very quickly. I mean, they had it at second by the time she reached first base.
Yep.
So good job getting the ball back in.
1-0 count, one down. Collier, and it's right off the end of the bat, and you better pick that thing up because it'll start spinning right back to first base, and Jones does, and that's going to be strike number one.
And again, they're playing deep at the corners.
Kind of moved, and they've moved Combs into left center, expecting her to pull the ball, and she does to Gabbard. Gabbard had come up on her, and throw's going to be thrown away, and that's going to be an error going into right field. Stallings is going to get it in, and Collier will go on to third.
And the Cougars making another big inning here. We got runners on the corner with one out.
And Kelsey Bentley will come up. She also had lined into left center and first inning. 4 runs in, and that came up on the Gabbard. It was hit hard, and it came up, and sometimes it hits that lace a different way on the ground, and it will pop up on you. That's going to be a ball outside.
And it hit the ground right at the base path, too, so it could have hit in a footstep or whatever.
Oh, yeah. As you can tell, the tarp has been on the field the majority of the last day or two with the rain that we've had up in this area. And there is a change, and it's fouled, and whoa, the car is over there. I hope nobody got hit.
She hits that ball hard. If she can wait on that and hit it straight away, that ball will go.
And she struggled with it 2 or 3 times, and then she was hitting it down on the handle. And Rowe, you got to give all credit to Rowe. She's keeping it in a situation where she's not straight out barreling it on the big part of the softball bat.
Guessing.
And that's outside, and that's going to be 2-2.
I love that she held her foot up in the air to see what he made the call. She was wanting that one.
Let's see if Coach Perkins will put Bentley in the motion here on 2-2. And that's going to be hit to right center, and
That's
that
one.
ball is gone. So Kelsey Bentley with a 3-run home run here, and I didn't think she really got that much of it. The wind may have aided it just a little bit, but just pure strength hitting that one out. She'll have 3 RBIs on it, and that will advance the score to 7-0. Letcher County Central and Combs will come up.
I knew as hard as she was pulling the ball, if she could wait and get it straight away, it would go because, man, she was ripping that thing.
And, you know, that's what we were talking kind of a little bit about gauging the changeup, is that you either gauge fastball changeup and then you adapt to how you're swinging. And she did a good job. She probably heard me up here saying that she was hitting it down on the handle. But anyway, Coach Combs comes out to kind of settle down the sophomore and talk to his infield here at 7-0 here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, at this point, you just want to encourage her to keep throwing strikes and see how the chips fall.
Yeah.
Next to the plate, number 4, Katie Combs.
And Katie Combs, base on balls, the first inning.
Yeah. I still think Combs will lay one down here in a minute and play that short game.
And that's going to be strike number 1.
Both corners are back, and so if she can put it down either line, I don't think they could get her.
Hazard trying to get an out here and get out of this inning. And it's right at the – oh, nice snag.
Play.
Man, you couldn't backhand snag by – hey, that's a base hit in the gap, and she pulls it out of there. Second out of the inning on the line drive to Griffin, and that's going to be 2 down.
Yeah, Combs was robbed by that great play. I mean, just that's all that you can say. It was an outstanding play.
Nicely will come up. Nicely flew out or popped to the shortstop. And it's going to be right over top. Can she get to it? She does, and that's 3 outs for Hazard. And when we come back, it'll be moving on to the top of the third. The Hazard Bulldogs will come to bat.
TVS has made a commitment to bringing you the best channel lineups and most diverse video packages available. We are proud to introduce Broadband TV, our newest and most affordable video package yet. 48 of the most watched channels we offer, some new channels only available with this package, and over 300 of the best free ad-supported channels available, all for only $29.95.
Welcome back to Letcher County Central. Letcher County Central plates forward. Makes it 7-0 going into the top of the third. Hazard will bring up 8-9-1. And Maggie Combs, the senior, senior. Maggie's not a senior. Maggie is a sophomore. Batting .328 as much as I've seen her on the basketball floor. Does an outstanding job of playing defense. Hazard Lady Bulldogs. Looking forward to watching them in the basketball again.
You know, one of the things I have to say, Rowe has not thrown a bad game. She's been pitching very well. The Cougars have just been teeing off on the ball.
And, you know, sometimes that happens. And had it happen to me as a pitcher many a time. And, you know, sometimes those line drives hit mitts, and sometimes they hit dirt and grass. So that's just a part of the game. And that pitch is outside, and that'll be 2-0.
The Cougars are playing back on the infield, just waiting on the contact.
Cook's playing pretty deep in center mark, and that's going to be fouled out of play on the 2-1. Had her pitch right there.
I think well, she's backed up now. I thought she was getting in that one little piece of shade to get that sun out of her eye.
2-1 pitch coming. Change up, and it's going to be nubbed, and it'll be foul. Two.
The Lady Bulldogs are being aggressive with their bats at the plates. They're just really struggling against Stamper.
And it's nubbed down there. Once again, Ambergy with a dive and stab. Nice play back. And we've seen 2 nice plays. Well, 3 with Eddington's grab. So first out on the nice play.
Yeah, that was absolutely a very nice play. She came, 15 foot down the line there to make that catch?
Haley Jones will come to bat. The junior batting .267. And right there, and I had it.
Yeah.
I never even flinched that time.
I thought Hallie Jones was going to come after you there with that foul ball. I had an aunt named Hallie. We was talking about that before the game started.
And it's going to be hit down, and it's going to be a nice catch by Nicely.
Yeah, she did a good job. That ball was tailing away from her. She had to keep going to her left. So, nice job bringing that in and staring at the sun at the same time.
And that will move to the top of the lineup with Zoe Gabbard, who struck out in that first. It's fouled back.
Just a little behind that pitch, but nice cut.
Trying to take it opposite, and that's what you have to do on the left-hander. When she's throwing that thing on the outer half, you got to take it to the right side.
Yeah, just down. Pull those hands through first and drive that ball.
1-1, 2 down.
Again, they're all playing straight up in their positions, no shading.
And that's outside, and that's going to be 2-1. Hazard trying to get a base runner here, trying to get something going in the top of the third.
You can tell that the sun is starting to sink down right in their eyesight now. They're holding their gloves up trying to shade themselves.
And that's even including from a throw from third to first, and that's a swing straight through and fouled straight back. And even the umpires, the coaches, and everything on the right side, you better be awake on any kind of line drive or fly ball.
Yeah, that's one of the tough things when you can't see anyone.
And that goes for that upper top, and it's missed, and that's going to be a strikeout, and that will end the inning, and we'll go to the bottom of the third. Stay with us on Hometown 24.
TVS Cable has everything you need to stay entertained. Video services with all your favorite channels and local sports on Hometown 24. Ask about digital voice service for home and business. High-speed internet so you never fall behind in a game. There's something for all ages. We've got you covered. Sit back and enjoy everything TVS has to offer. Stay connected with TVS.
Tucked deep within the rolling hills and ancient ridgelines of the Appalachian Mountains, Eastern Kentucky is a place where heritage runs deep and community runs deeper. Known for its coal mining legacy, bluegrass traditions, and fiercely proud people, this region tells a story of resilience, creativity, and quiet beauty. I'm going to take you along with me as I visit some different counties of Eastern Kentucky and explore what all this amazing region has to offer. Hi, I'm Rebecca McCauley, and this is Bluegrass and Backroads.
Welcome back to Letcher County Central. Hazard unable to put anything on the board in the top of the third. We'll move to the bottom of the third, and Letcher Central will bring up Sarah Richardson struck out in the first. Want to thank everybody that's tuning in. Want to thank the Bank of Hyman, Double Quick, Hometown Pharmacy of Hazard, PBT Bancorp, Kentucky Farm Bureau, Mark Wright, Letcher County Agent, Primary Care Centers of Eastern Kentucky, and Hoffensberger Law Office. And that's going to be out in front. Richardson.
Yeah, she acted like she heard what you said about striking out the last time, and she made a good cut at it.
Yes. You might want to close that window so nobody can hear what I've got to say. I try to whisper, but that's hard for me. Roll once again. I'm getting out in front. There's that change-up, and is it going to turn back? And it does, and Eddington will make the catch. So that's going to be one down. A good start for Roll and the Hazard Lady Bulldogs.
Yeah, she had her way out in front with that change-up, and that's 2 put-outs as the catchers come out behind the plate and made. So
I'm going to say something, and there is no better girl athlete in the 14th region than Bray Eddington. It's hit on the ground, does Cook, and Gabbard comes up with it, and she'll throw her out, and 2 away real quickly on the 6-3. And that will bring up Hatton, who bunt singled the last time. And let's see if the girls and the coaches realize what she did. They will. And as soon as I said that, Jones moves in about 2 or 3 steps along with Elkins.
Yeah, she made a nice stretch there on that throw. Made it where it wasn't even a close play.
And Rowe trying to get a 1-2-3 for the first time. Hit to Elkins. Elkins will come up. Nice throw over there, and it's 3 and out. And we'll move on to the top of the 4th. So stay with us on Hometown 24.
Hey, it's Kristen from Appalachian Wireless. Spring has arrived in the mountains, and it's time to do a little spring cleaning, starting with your phone. At Appalachian Wireless, you can get up to $800 off select smartphones with qualifying plans, or take part in our new discount savings program. And for those who realize you need a carrier that actually cares about you, bring your number and enjoy up to 6 months of free service. So hop on in and visit us in one of our many retail locations today, or visit us on the web at AppalachianWireless.com, because we are your neighbors, and this is your network. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
I'm Hal Rogers, and I approve this message.
In the Republican primary, let's support a leader who always delivers for the mountains. Hal Rogers. Our congressman fights for us, for our values, for our people, for our way of life. And Hal Rogers is endorsed by Donald Trump. Together, Rogers and Trump are working for us. They're strengthening the economy, they closed the border, and made America safer and stronger. Hal Rogers, the experience to fight and win for us.
Welcome back to Letcher County Central. We have a pitching change as Kelsey Bentley, the junior, will come in. 3-2, 1 save, 40.1 and a third inning. I say .1 and 1 if I'm a math teacher, right? 40 and 1. 5.73 ERA. Did a nice job coming in for Stamper the last time we were here against Prairie County Central. Nice job by Rogue on a 1-2-3 and getting a little bit of momentum for Hazard. Griffith will come in now. The junior, she struck out the first time.
Yeah, she made that heck of a play there at second a while ago. So let's see if she can get the bats going.
And, gain a little momentum anytime you have a 1-2-3 inning, and momentum transfers to your and that's going to be hit to the right side. Hatton will come to it, and she will throw her out on the 4-3 if you're scoring, and that's going to be the first out. And Jones will come up. She hit the sharp line shot into right field, her first attempt.
And that could be wicked right now with that sun shining the way it is.
And that's going to be strike one. And Stamper ends with three innings, 6 strikeouts, and 1 hit. So a nice outing by Scarlett Stamper. Comes the pitch. And it's going to be strike number 2 on the outside corner. So placing that in a good position. Don't want to come in on the hands of Jones, I don't think. I think she likes, as most left-handers do, in her half. And that's going to be up. That's going to be 1-2.
Tried to get her to chase a bad pitch. But, it's a different look when you got Bentley out there pitching because she's pitching as a righty.
Right, and had Stamper left on left. Jones was able, and she hits it off the handle, and Collier will come in and make the put out, and that will be 2 down. That will bring up Addington, who was called out on strikes. Want to give a big shout-out down to the Doty Creek shooter, Homer Doug Cottle, who could shoot that ball outside even if the wind was blowing, and he'd put it in the hole. That's going to be strike.
She's not trying to worry about the corners or whatever.
Well, that's an advantage too, Mark, coming into a 7-0 game. You don't feel it right away, and Hazard's got to make her feel it. And that's going to be strike 2 called. Addington must protect the plate here at 0-2.
And like I said, this is their first look at her this game.
And it's striked and fouled off, and I think Addington asked, was that going to be a strike if I didn't swing at it? It's 0-2 now, 2 down.
With 0-2 count, you got to swing at anything close, and she did just that.
Yep. And she's going to be called out on strikes, and that's going to be 3 outs for Hazard, and we'll move on to the bottom of the 4th. So stay with us on Hometown 24.
Caring staff. Look no further than Hindman Pharmacy, located inside the new Hindman Primary Care Center. Our pharmacy is open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 6:30, but always stays open until the last patient is seen. Whether you need to pick up your refills in our drive-thru, need a flavored medicine for your little ones, or something to feel better after a visit to the clinic, the Hindman Pharmacy inside Primary Care has got you covered. Located at 425 Hindman Bypass. Call the Hindman Pharmacy at 785-0513.
My name is Isabella, and I am from Madison County, Kentucky. Instead of choosing a larger university, I chose to attend Alice Lloyd College because I wanted a more personal college experience. The small class sizes provide a close relationship between students and professor that isn't possible at any other university. ALC is more than a place to learn, it is a place to grow, serve, and lead. Learn more at alc.edu.
Welcome back to Letcher County Central. Thank you for tuning in Hometown 24. My name is Blair with Mark Young. We'll move to the top of the 4th, and we'll have 1, 2, 3 for Letcher County Central. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you very much. And our sponsors once again, Keisha Caldwell Feltner, Bankruptcy Express, Mountain Health Alliance, Appalachian Wireless, ARH, who always helps us with our scoreboard in all of our sports, Alice Lloyd College, player of the game, Bluegrass Pest Management, the Hazard and Hyman, law offices of David A. Johnson, and the Hazard Perry County Tourism Group. I think last game I didn't get everybody in, but please go in and tell these people that you watched us on Hometown 24 and you appreciate it.
Yeah, you always want to make sure that they get their recognition for allowing us to do this.
And they get our kids in our mountain area gets the recognition because we give it to them when you can't come to the games. We're there for you. Stamper will come in to bat. She had a single in the first, and she popped up on the nice play by Addington in the second inning. And that pitch, it was a nice location. It hit the mid exactly where, but it was a little bit out, trying to get Stamper to go fishing a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
Kind of like Brian Johnson and Jim Bob McCauley and Roddy Kraft.
She wasn't biting.
No, she didn't bite, but that was, and there's the changeup down on the handle. And it kind of fooled Stallings. Thought it hit it on the big part of the bat, but it was down on the handle, and that's going to go for a base hit.
Yeah, I mean, just was able to drop that in between, found that seam there,
and you know it's tough out there for Stallings, and nicely for Letcher Central, just to see that ball come off in the batting box now will be Collier, who is 2 for 2, and like I said, she's on a 6 for 6 streak, and she's going to bunt the ball, and she's going to bunt through it, and it's going to be strike one.
I didn't actually expect that from Collier at all, but she caught everybody off guard. I mean, everybody's playing
me off
back.
guard.
And, you know, sometimes that's a good decision.
And it's going to be strike 2 on the corner. So 0-2 and rocking and rolling, no pun intended.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But nice job of fighting back after the base hit of Stamper with a 0-2 count. Here it comes, and it's outside 1-2.
Yeah. Collier is usually a tough at-bat, so I'm not going to count her out just yet, especially with the run she's been on.
Well, you know, when you're hot, you're hot. And sometimes when you're not, you're not. And there's that changeup. It's going to be hit to Elkin. She comes up with it, throws it, and that's going to be an out. And so fielder's choice, and that's going to be the first out of the inning on the 5-4.
And, you know, Rose has a nice changeup. I really love that pitch. She does a great job with it.
And you know the thing about it is when you are an 8th grader, freshman, or sophomore, and you're a pitcher, just like Scarlett Stamper, who started out as a 7th grader here at Letcher Central, you know you gain strength, you gain arm strength, you gain experience, and you will learn to do things as you come through with good coaching and a lot of playing.
Yeah, you develop a great sense of mental toughness.
Yeah, and I mean you go through all kinds of different experiences. In steps Kaylee Bentley, who had a single and RBI, and then hit a ball on the E6 she reached. Scored 2 runs, and it's going to go to Gabbard again. And there's going to be, can they turn it? And they will not. So 2 outs.
They sure made that close.
And that's going to be 2 outs on the fielder's choice, and Bentley will remain on first, and Kelsey Bentley will come up. She's 2 for 2. She's had a single and a home run, 3-run homer.
That was great coordination between Gabbard and your second baseman there. They almost turned that double play. Nice throw.
And it's fouled straight back, and we've had a change at second base. Griffith is not in there, and let me see who we've got. I did not see the change until we'll see who the change is. I've got it written down, or I thought I had written down. Don't have it. That pitch is outside, and that's going to be 1-1. Let's see what her number is.
Is that Hallie Jones?
I believe, let's see. Number, it is. That's a good read. And that's going to be a line shot. One hopper out there, and they're going to get it in, and that's going to be Kelsey Bentley, 3 of 3 on the base hit.
Number 4, senior Katie Combs.
Combs will come up, and Combs is 0 for 1, has a walk. At 2 down, runners at first and second.
And
Combs is, you know, I don't mean this in a bad way. She's petite, but she's got power. And there it is. It's hit up, and there's going to be the call, and Stallings is going to handle it, and that will be the 3rd out of the inning. No runs for Letcher Central, and we'll move on to the top of the field. Stay with us on Hometown 24.
Kentucky Mountain Health Alliance Incorporated, Little Flower Clinic, Quantum Healthcare, and East Kentucky Chiropractic, offering medical, dental, pediatrics, chiropractic, behavioral health, women's health, rheumatology. And more. 487-9505. Kentucky Mountain Health Alliance Incorporated, your medical home in the mountains.
Hi, my name is Heidi Hoffensperger from Hoffensperger Law Office.
Debt can feel overwhelming. The calls, the letters, the constant pressure, it's hard to see a way forward. You're not alone. The law office of Heidi Hoffensperger has helped countless people through their bankruptcy, giving them a fresh start and a chance to rebuild. Bankruptcy isn't the end.
The legal world can be a very, very difficult and complicated world, and I don't want that for my clients.
Call today and let Heidi help you with this new beginning.
Welcome back as Letcher Central comes up with an egg in that inning, and it'll be 7-0 as we move to the top of the fifth. Hazard in dire need right now to try to get something. They'll come up with Stallings to bat. Stallings with a strikeout in the second inning. Bentley moving to her second inning after Scarlett Stamper started the game for Coach Perkins.
You know, man, that's one of the things I wanted to mention since you're talking about Stallings. She called that ball out in center field, and I heard it up here in the press box with these headphones on. So that's what outfielders need to do.
One, that's good hearing on your behalf. Two, that's what you've got to have is communication, because if not, that second baseman going out, you're going to have a collision.
Well, I do have my window open, but I did hear.
And you mentioned this the other day when we were talking about Prairie Central and Letcher Central's game. Talking fundamentals and listening, and that's you give kudos, and I'm glad you brought that up. Also, that window, it's a little bit chilly, but I'm all right. No, I'm just kidding. And that's going to be ball one, and you know that's it's nice to point that out, and I'm sure everybody down there heard that when she called the ball. And that's going to be down, and that's going to make it 2-0. And Hazard just needs base runners right now.
Yeah. For any young players out there, that's something that they need to learn to do is communicate with their teammates.
And anytime the outfielder calls it, the infielder has to come off. And you got to call it as early as you can possibly do, and that's going to be a foul back, and that's going to be 2-1. Once again, for you Reds fans, Reds win again today, and they're staying in first. And I've noticed a lot more Reds hats and shirts all of a sudden, you know. Can we call that bandwagon?
That does happen.
Yeah. And it's going to be a 2-hopper to hat, and she stays with it, and she's going to throw her out on the 4-3, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Up will come Sammy Noble, who flew out to Bentley in left field.
The Cougars are playing back deep in the infield and just waiting for contact.
And you know the thing about that is, and you talk about it all the time, the routine plays have to be made behind a pitcher. And so far they've made those routine plays, and that's strike one called.
You know, as a pitcher, it's so much easier to be out there throwing when you know that you've got a good infield behind you.
Hey, you're exactly right. And you know, as a pitcher, you got to throw strikes to get them to be ready. And that's a foul off by Noble in the batter's box, and it will be 0-2. Once again, thanks everybody for tuning in. This is the 31st meeting between these two clubs in their history.
I noticed Karen Caudle and Kim Reading both have tuned in.
Ooh. And Noble shakes it off, and she'll jog down to first. I believe she is okay.
Well,
and I'm not gonna say what some of my coaches used to say. You took one for the team. I don't believe she was trying to take that one. She just locked up on that one. So base runner, one down, trying to get something going. And Elkins will come in. She was called out on strikes. That's going to be ball down.
And I think she was kind of glad it was a little bit of an off-speed pitch.
And it was. Yeah, I mean, it just come out of Bentley's hands incorrectly. And strike one as she swung and missed. Elkins, a junior for Hazard. A young team for Hazard. And that is hit solidly down the line, and that's going to be off the fence. And here comes Noble, and Richardson's going to wind it up and throw, and she's going to be called out. And on the throw, and Noble slid in, and that's going to be called on a 7 to 6 to 5 second out. Elkins on the throw will go into second. And that ends up being a big-time out for Letcher County Central.
Oh, absolutely. That was one of the big-time plays, getting the ball in there. Made it a lot closer than I thought it'd be when they got the call by Blue.
And, that's where you catch it on the glove side and get rid of it quickly, and Richardson did. And that's going to be a strike one on Combs. I was looking for my angle, and I thought she might have got under, but, we're a pretty good distance from there. Back to Bentley, and she'll juggle it, and she'll throw it to first, and that will end the inning on the 1-3. And we'll move on to the bottom of the fifth. 7-0 Letcher Central. Stay with us.
Hometown Pharmacy of Hazard is here to meet all your prescription and healthcare needs. Pharmacist Darren Smith and the experienced staff provide fast, reliable service with the professionalism you expect. With friendly service and a commitment to quality care, Hometown Pharmacy is proud to serve the Hazard community every day. Ask about their new app. Hometown Pharmacy of Hazard, quality care, professional service right here in your community. TVS Mobile is here. Mobile service from the broadband provider you already know and trust. Powered by the nation's most reliable network. TVS is your #1 choice when you need to stay connected. With mobile plans to suit any budget and any situation, and phones from your most trusted brands. Go to tgtvsmobile.com today and see how TVS can keep you connected. The choice is yours. The time is now. TVS Mobile.
Welcome back to Letcher County Central. Manus Blair, Mark Young, and boy, I just saw some good food come into the press box.
He's a brave man.
Might tackle him in here in a minute. Rowe still on the mound for Hazard, and for Letcher Central, you'll have Nicely, who has flown out to the shortstop and down the left field line, and kind of Rowe has found her way in these last two innings, and the defense have made some plays behind her as well. And like we said, when you make a few plays behind you, you get a little confidence, and everybody carries into your dugout.
Yeah. Even though the score doesn't really show it, Rose pitched a heck of a ball game. I mean, she's kept them guessing all night, but
she has one walk.
Yeah, the Cougars have absolutely started out the game on fire, and she's kind of cooled her jets here the last couple of innings.
And that's down on the handle. It's got that weird spin on it, and it's going to be an out. And Jones, and you got to give credit where credit's due. Jones both moving on the ball makes the out.
Absolutely. I mean, there was no hesitation whatsoever, and had there been, the runner's safe. I mean,
definitely, and that's a what I call that, a 3 to 4 on that situation. So that's one down. Rarely do you write that down. And that's going to be hit up in the air, and it got carried to it. Just at the base of the warning track, and that's going to be two quick outs for Rowe and Hazard, and then that will mean Cook will come out. They had a fielder's choice and a 6 to 3, and quickly Rowe is on a roll.
The first thing I did was when she hit that ball is looked at the flag, and it was just hanging there. No wind at all. Any wind at all, and that ball was gone.
And that's going to be right down Main Street, and that's going to be strike one. 2 down here in the bottom of the fifth. Hazard trying to get into the dugout so they can get the bats going. Change up, and it's right back up through the middle. Nice job of hitting, and it's going to go through the wicket of Combs, but there was Stallings to back it up, and once again, playing fundamental softball.
Yeah, I mean, you love to see your outfielders come together out there anytime a ball's hit, and they did just that.
Hatton will come up. Hatton, one of two.
You got a big shift in the outfield now. Right fielder's almost playing straightaway center.
You think you might wait on it a little bit and try to hit it down the right field line. Here comes Hatton, and it's going to be up, ball one.
If she can poke it through the middle on the right side, she can run for a days.
And you got to give Cook a little bit of kudos. That first two times struggled with that changeup. That time kept her hands back and hit it right back through the box. Change up, and that's a nice pitch, but it was outside. No, I'm sorry. It was strike one. 1-1, 2 down. Cook on first. Hazard trying to get a force out here and get into the dugout. There it is, and that's going to be outside. Nope. I keep waiting, and that's going to be strike two. We're not directly behind home plate, so we're not sure.
They was kind of looking to see what Cook
be third out, and the Hazard Lady Bulldogs will come to bat.
For more than a century, we have stood by the people of Hazard and Eastern Kentucky. Now we begin a new chapter with a new name. People's Bank and Trust Company is now PBT Bancorp. Our look may be new, but what matters stays the same. The same local faces, the same personal service, the same commitment to your goals. PBT Bancorp is here to help you grow, plan, and build for the future. PBT Bancorp, preparing for a better tomorrow.
When financial challenges threaten your future, you need clear guidance and proven solutions. Call Keisha Caldwell Feltner, Bankruptcy Express. Trusted legal experience to help. Keisha and her staff deliver efficient, reliable representation focused on results. With flexible payment options, getting the help you need is more accessible than ever. Keisha Caldwell Feltner, Bankruptcy Express. Professional service, practical solutions. The fresh start you deserve.
Welcome back to Letcher County Central. Next game for Hazard will be, I think it's called the Jackie McLeod Classic on, and they will be playing Scott County and GRC. The next game for Letcher County Central will be at Harlan. So both those teams playing quality, as we said earlier, plays quality competition, getting in closer to postseason time. Want to thank all the people that are tuning in. Karen Smith, Braxton Boyd, Teresa Hayes, Brad Colley, Chastity Mason, Mark Carver. Thank you, Mark. I've written down Griffin for some reason, even though I've had a game, and it is Griffith. If I said it, I do apologize. Allie Bailey, Bob Smith. Bob Smith says he's tuning in from Debbie at Pikeville Medical Center, so praying for her. And we're ready to go as Jones will be up, and she's going to hit it to right field nicely, that sun, but she's going to hang on to it. And one pitch and one out.
Yeah, she had to do a lot of moving there as the ball was tailing away and fighting the sun, too. That's amazing how they can concentrate and do that.
Yeah. And, you know, once again, fighting that sun, and it is kind of shifted a little bit. So up comes Gabbard. Gabbard is struck out twice. And that's a nice shot into right field, and nicely will come up with it and shot that ball off the to the opposite direction. So base hit for Gabbard.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a shot no matter where you're playing at. That's hard to do anything about.
Well, you hit it in that 3-4 gap like that, you're going to have a good chance of getting on base. Griffith will come up. She has gone 0 for 2 tonight. And another good hit into left center, and Here comes Gabbard, and then Coach Combs is going to send her home, and she'll score, and the throw's going to come in late and take that goose egg off the board. And you can hear their dugout down there getting a little bit into it. Griffith took that high pitch and hit it into the gap.
Well, absolutely. And, they're back at the top of the order. Right now it's the time for the Bulldogs to make a move, and so far they're on fire.
And that will bring up Jones, who stung that first pitch he had in the first inning with a base hit. Popped up to the third baseman. So 2 consecutive hits after the first out. Trying to keep it going here. And Jones swings at that one. It would look like it was going outside.
They're shading Jones a little bit to the right side of the field, and if she can lift it over the shortstop's head, she can run for days as well.
And that's going to be outside. And Bobby Collett asking, we're not going to be doing Leslie County softball, but with Leslie County baseball, we will have, I think, next Thursday. And we will be doing the girls softball region. So,
man, they brought that ball on the inside half the plate, and she turned and pulled it over top of the dugout.
And I think they want to stay out of that. Right there in the old belt side, probably want to take it away a little bit. 2-2 pitch, and it's going to be swung through, and it's going to be an out, and that's going to be the second out.
So they got that runner out there on second, and I'm sure she would like to.
Yeah, she's kind of hung out there. She wants to come on and score, and I think Eddington, who has been called out twice, looking to hit that first pitch, and she does, and it's going to dribble down. It's going to be a foul ball. And Eddington will come back. Thought Collier was going to get it while it was still in fair territory.
Well, I think if she could have got to it in time, she would have, because she's got enough confidence on throwing to first.
So here comes the pitch. And that's going to be called strike 2. Had her.
Just coming straight at her. No, thank you.
So 0-2, 2 down, trying to plate the back up through the middle, and that's going to be a base hit, and that will allow Eddington to advance to second, and the Lady Bulldogs continuing the momentum.
Yeah, that's 2 runs back, and like you said, anytime you can cut into that lead, you're headed in the right direction.
So RBI to Eddington. Griffith will score the second run, and that will make it 7-2, and Stallings will step in 0 for 2, and she'll hit it right back through the wicket. Coach Combs says, go on home, and here comes the throw home. It's going to be cut. Run will score, and then that will be the out. So the run will score on the throw home, and Stallings with the RBI, and that will plate 3 for Hazard in the top of the 6th, and we'll move to the bottom of the 6th. So stay with us on Hometown 24.
Introducing WTVE TV Everywhere from TVS, the new way to watch your favorite shows, live channels, and on-demand content wherever you go. On your phone, your tablet, or your laptop, whether you're at home, on the road, or maybe somewhere you might not want to be. And the best news, TV Everywhere is already part of every TVS video plan. Sign up today for TVS and get access to your favorite content, including live college sports everywhere. Visit tvscable.com or call 606-785-3450.
Brain health affects how we think, learn, and live. When it is ignored, the impact spreads into our classes, our friendships, and even our stability. It affects our families, communities, and even our ability to afford basic needs. But prevention can stop the chain. Sleep, hydration, movement, connection, and asking for help can protect our minds.
Welcome back. Hazard, 3 runs on 3 hits in that top of the 6th you can see it when they come out on the field. They've had a little bit more bounce in their step, Mark.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime that you have a good inning, you got that momentum on your side, and if you can get another quick inning like they have the last 2 or 3 innings, get right back in and get that going again.
Well, they're 3 base runners and a home run from tying the score up, and I know that might, to some, say, well, he's making a little stretch, but no. As our old college coach at Alice Lloyd College Baseball would say, a blooper and a blast is all you need sometimes, or 3 bloops and a blast in that case. Stamper will come up for Letcher County Central, 1, 2, 3. She is 2 of 3 on the night.
Now, if you're the Cougars, you want to do the same thing that the Bulldogs did. You want to get out there and get those 3 runs back.
Well, when you look up there, Letcher Central's had goose eggs the last 3 innings, and that's what Rowe's going to try to continue to do right here. And that's going to be a strike 1.
And that was kind of a good pitch. It pushed Stamper back off the plate a little bit so she can work that outside edge.
Here comes the second pitch, and Letcher Central lately has not had a beat on Rowe's changeup and moving it around a little bit. 1-1. Stamper trying to get something going off the leadoff, and it's going to be ball 2.
And like I said, Rowe's done a good job working the ball around and keeping them guessing. I mean, if you can't outpower them, you got to keep them guessing.
That's exactly right. Here it comes, and it's going to be right back to Rowe, and that'll be the first out of the inning on the 1-3.
Next to the plate, number 11, Addison Collier.
Collier will come up, and Collier 2 of 3 on the evening. Had a double, had a single and RBI, scored 2 runs, and then hit into a force out in the 4th inning. First pitch, and it's going to be popped up, and Rowe's going to make the call. Ooh, I thought she was going to overrun it for just a second.
Yeah, that was a nice play for her to do that, but in that situation, I like to see the infielders come in from short and call them off.
I do exactly what you're going to say as a pitcher. The pitcher is not supposed to take it, but if you're going to get an out, it don't make any difference who catches it.
That's very true.
You've always been taught as a pitcher, you're not going to take it. You point to who's going to take it, but in that situation, just get an out. In will step Kaylee Bentley, and she's had a single and a fielder's choice and reached on a error, scored 2 runs, 1 RBI. And that's a line shot, and that's a base hit. So keeps the inning alive for Letcher County Central, and that'll bring up Kelsey Bentley, who is 3 of 3, 2 singles, a home run, 3 RBIs. Scored a run. And Rowe's got to be real careful right here.
Yeah, and as I look at the flag, it's just hanging. There's no movement.
Pitches away, and that'll be ball 1.
Now, Rowe's placement of the ball has been pretty good. She's not really threw many right down the middle of the plate.
It's going to be outside, 2-0. And I think there's intent in throwing that thing outside. I might be wrong. I've been wrong several times in my sporting career. Here comes the pitch, and that's going to be strike.
I was going to say, she keeps working it in, and she finally caught the corner at that time.
2-1. And, you know, she's been really consistent throwing that on the outer half or trying to get that pitch right on the corner. Been successful once. 3-1, 2 down.
Yeah, I mean,
Bentley on first.
She has such control of where she pitches the ball.
Here it is, and that's inside, and that's going to be ball 4. So Bentley will reach base for the 4th time tonight, and that will bring up Combs, who has walked and is 0 for 2. Flew out to left and hit that line drive that Griffith caught. Cougars trying to do something here, and it's going to be off the handle, and it'll be just out of play.
Out in front of it just a wee bit.
So 0-1, 2 down. Once again, our next games will be Monday, and after this pitch, I'll talk about it. And that's going to be inside. And that will be 1-1. Jim Bob McCauley and David Adams will be at Prairie Central for the Paintsville Prairie Central baseball game Monday. And that's going to be strike number 2 on that outer half. And Brian Johnson and myself will be at Prairie Central for the Estill County at Prairie County Central softball game. It's going to be outside, and I think girls softball, right now between Hazard, Prairie Central, Jenkins, Letcher Central, Estill County, it's going to be a really good district and region. And that's going to be a called strike 3. Nice pitch by Rowe, and that will end the inning. No runs for Letcher Central, and we'll move on to the top of the 7th. And Hazard's got to have 4 or more. Stay with us.
Introducing Multiview from TVS. The same video service you already know and trust. Now watch up to 4 programs at the same time, including college sports. With an easy-to-understand menu, Multiview is just a click away. Don't miss a second of the action, no matter when it's happening. Video when you want it, how you want it. From TVS.
Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance helps protect more than 474,000 Kentucky families and businesses. Many of our members have been with us for years, even decades. Perhaps it's because of the competitive rates.
And we're back and kind of talking about a few things there. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And once again, we, as Hometown 24, will be doing the regional. I'm not sure about district tournaments yet. Of course, in boys volleyball, it will be held, first round will be held at the sites of the highest RPI. Then those 4 will advance to the semifinals and the finals at Letcher County Central. Baseball will be played, the baseball regional will be at Powell County High School. And of course, we've mentioned that the girls softball will be held at Breathitt County High School. So from whether here or whether there, Hometown 24, you never know what we may end up doing. You just never know. And trying to cut grass and try to do a few things around the house in the springtime and trying to balance it. And we appreciate Mark Young standing in and being the left-hander out of the bullpen coming home.
I totally enjoy this, man.
Yeah.
It's just my favorite time of the year as far as sports go.
And Hazard trying to look to score 4 and down the line, and it's going to be a foul ball. And Noble was out in front of it. She is 0 for 1, got hit with a pitch that last time. She was up in the 5th inning.
Man, she turned on that ball and got it down the line in a hurry.
Yep. So Bentley trying to close it out for Letcher Central and Coach Perkins. And there she barreled it up, and it's going to be 0-2 as she swings and misses. Does Noble, excuse me. Nobody out. And that's going to be outside. It'll be 1-2.
That was a good pitch, though, trying to get her to chase something that wasn't there.
And I was not laughing about the field play. I was laughing about our cohorts over here for WXKQ, Michael Watts and Bull Creek. And that's going to be up, and that's going to be 2-2. You know, when you're in a tight press box, sometimes you overhear each other. That's why I try not to talk in my normal voice because everybody can hear what I've got to say. 2-2, trying to get something going here to start it off, and that's going to be a called strike 3, and that will be the first out of the inning. And for Bentley, that is her second strikeout. No, excuse me, third strikeout of her stint. And that will bring up Elkins, who has singled and struck out.
And, of course, that would be the biggest of the three because it's being inning number 7.
And you got to try to get base runners. And Elkins says, I'm going to get a base runner. She hits it into left field with a base hit. She's going to be 2 for 3. And that one is why you call third base the hot corner, because that one was definitely hit hot.
Absolutely. That's 2 in a row that was hit hot down there.
And Maggie Combs will come up to try to keep the Lady Bulldogs alive. She's 0 for 2 on the evening. The pitch, and it's going to be hit into right center, and that's going to fall nicely. Tries to get it in, and she's going to be safe. Elkins able to get in before the throw got there. So a rally going for Hazard on the 2 consecutive hits, and that will bring up Jones, who is 0 for 2.
That was a nice piece of running by Elkins. She was caught in no man's land, and then when she saw that it would fail, she hustled and got there.
And nicely with a nice throw coming in to Richardson at second. And Jones trying to get to the top of the order here, and she'll swing through the first pitch.
She definitely got her money's worth at that swing.
Got to cut it down just a little bit now with that 1 strike count, trying to get something into motion here, and that's going to be a strike 2 called in the hole now. Got to protect home plate.
Yeah, you got to keep it in play. Keep it in play.
Letcher Central playing deep in the outfield, and that's another base hit into the gap.
That's
and
all the way to the fence.
And that's going to plate 1, and it's going to plate 2, and Cook underneath the fence called, and that's going to plate all 3, I believe, and that's going to make it a very – I think Cook got caught underneath the fence with her foot trying to get to the ball, and that's going to plate all 3 runners. And now, Mark, we are at 7-6. And, you know, I was asking for something close, and guess what?
You've got it.
I got it. So that's going to be a double. And then I don't really know. I'm not going to be the official scorekeeper, but that's going to be 2-run RBI. And Gabbard will hit it straight back, and we got a ball game.
Yeah, you know, the Bulldogs got it going here with a 1-out rally.
And, you know, and with the bottom of the order. And if you do it with the bottom of the order, what does that tell you? You know, what kind of team you've got here. 7-6. And that's going to be in the dirt, and that's going to be 1-1. And Cougars right here trying to get outs, and got one of them so far. And it was the first out of the inning. And you mentioned you're starting off the inning, and Gabbard swings through it, 1-2. And you had already mentioned that you got that all-important first out to start the inning. And it's on the handle, and it's going to be picked up by Collier. The throw is going to be safe, and that's going to be infield hit for Gabbard. And we'll see what Coach Combs comes up with now with Griffith is going to come to bat. And she is 1 for 3, has a RBI in that 6th inning.
And you couldn't have asked for any better defensive play. I mean, it's clean fielding the ball, clean throw. Gabbard just turned on the motor and got down there.
And Coach Perkins comes out, calls time to come out and talk to his lineup and to Bentley here to understand what needs to happen here. And does Coach Combs try to steal Gabbard here? To try to put her in scoring position. Now, you've got your 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up.
If they test Katie Combs' arm, they get them to lay the ball down.
Do you dare to bunt it and get her into scoring position? We're about to see. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be, just foul.
She ripped another one down third base on. So the Lady Bulldogs getting a little bit more confident with her swing.
Yep. So, did not see the bunt attempt on the first pitch. Can it be on the second pitch? Here comes the windup, and it's going to be outside, 1-1. Coach Combs giving the signals.
Yeah, both players for the Cougars are staying back on the corners.
And that's going to be popped up, and it's going to be Richardson with a catch. Can it be a double play? No. And Gabbard's going to get up, and she's going to go to second base as the ball got away. And nice catch by Richardson over the shoulder catch. But on the throw, Gabbard's going to go to second on the E6. Puts her in scoring position to tie this game up. And guess who is up? Heidi Jones, and that's why she's in the 3 spot.
Absolutely. I thought the ball was definitely in the gap, and Richardson covered a long way to make that play.
I was getting ready to say base hit. And there's going to be the pitch, and it's going to hit her. And, like I said at the beginning of the game, she leads the team in being hit, and that's because she is right up on the plate, and that's going to put the go-ahead run on first base.
Yeah, they've got something going here. But, again, for the Cougars, that does put a force play.
Right. And, that's what you got to do before the ball's hit. What are you going to do if you go to your left, to your right, or straight to you? Eddington up, had a base hit that last time and scored a run. We had the RBI in the 6, 1 of 3.
Anything on the ground, and Gabbard's going home to try to tie this game.
You're right. 2 outs, you're motoring right now unless that ball is caught by the third baseman. It's going to be hit to Hatton. Hatton's going to step on the bag, and that's going to end the game in an exciting manner. And Letcher Central comes out on top, 7-6. Hazard plates 3 runs in there to make it a close game right down, and I'm sure Coach Perkins is going, whew. But Letcher Central will improve to 16-6, 9-0 in the region. Hazard will drop to 16-10, 6-3 in the region. And like I said the other game, these girls liable to see each other again in regional play. Our Alice Lloyd College player of the game will be number 2. And she was there for a minute there. She was taking a deep breath on the pitcher's mound, but she came in. She had 4 times on base. Miss Kelsey Bentley will be our Alice Lloyd College player of the game. Mark? That was
this turned out to be a barn burner of a game because of the comeback from Hazard.
Lulled us into sleep here, and something that Hazard can say. And, you say this sometimes. Man, if we just done this.
Right, and I think this is going to be good for both programs because the Cougars have been on such a roll they don't want to get complacent.
Right.
And the Bulldogs came back and rallied back, never quit, kept their heads up, and got back in this ball game. And like you said, they're always, what if I'd have done this?
What if? But you can see Coach Combs up here huddling with his bunch. But with that, our next telecast will be May the 4th, Monday. Our baseball game will be David and Jim at Purry Central with the Paintsville Tigers coming in. And then myself and Brian Johnson will be at Purry County Central for the Estill County at Purry Central softball game. And you never know, Mark Young may show up on either one of those. He's our trusty bullpen guy, and we appreciate it. And final things, Mark.
Like I said, I think this is a plus for both teams because it keeps the Cougars on edge so they don't get complacent, and at the same time, what a morale boost for the Lady Bulldogs.
And without Peyton Fields playing.
Yeah, with one of their better players.
Yeah, and, that's always in a young team. Your younger players, Zoe Gabbard picked it up a little bit for him, so that gives them another option.
Even though you hate to lose, you can say, hey, we just took the best team in the region.
Right now. Yep.
6-7.
Yep. And that's good for a confidence builder. And, not that we're for moral victories, but Coach Combs can take that and work with it. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody, all of our sponsors. I want to thank Hometown 24. I want to thank Miss Jennifer Wampler, who was here, the principal, and allowing us to come, and AD Blake Mason, and all the administrative staff. I want to thank Hometown 24 crew, as always. As David Adams says, they are the best. So with that being said, good night, and God bless.